Evening, how's it going? Welcome to the Super League, and somehow we are already at game week 25. It feels like the season only kicked off a few weeks ago, really, rattling through the games. We were just saying off camera, it seems like ages since we've done one together, so I'm delighted that I'm able to welcome a fellow former winner into the commentary booth tonight. Evening, Steve.
Yeah, evening, mate. I hope you're very well. Like I say, it's been a while. It's nice to be back on here, chatting with you, chatting about this this thing that we're all still creaming ourselves over at stupid ages we are.
It makes you laugh, doesn't it? I just said how we at game 25, but you make a good point. How are we all still, not only how is Champ still going all these years later, but the Super League season after season, and it just seems to get better and better. And the drama never ceases to amaze.
Yeah, I think the thing is from what it were originally, obviously just before start lockdown with Alan and Boise and stuff, and more people got involved and watching it as lockdown happened to us all, and then a progression just sort of happened, didn't it? And we all just love it. Yes.
We certainly do. That is one thing that we might not always agree with each other, but we can certainly say that we all absolutely love it. And what a game it is. We've got a weird situation tonight that in all my time, I can't recall seeing, where we've got 4 games on the Sunday and 3 games on the Monday.
I think Ryan pointed it out, didn't he, other night? And again, I can't remember it ever happening like this, but let's just hope there's no one-day injuries in between for sides that are selected.
Well, yes, it does cause an issue, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Before we get into the action, which, by the way, I've been asked if we can get Vikings Stanley out the way early for Jens, so we will do that. 3 of the 6 playoff spots have gone, Steve. To sides, I think that's fair to say were fancied at the start of the year, but nonetheless doing a fantastic job. But that battle for the other 3 is certainly tasty with 2 games to go, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's massive. I mean, if you look at like Badgers there, they're on the same sort of like goal difference as like Greavesy is as well. Just shows how much a result can go either way there. As much as 6 points behind, that goal difference could come massive. I mean, with two games to go, you've got 2 sides sat on 36, which it has. Is it 36 Did Campbell scrape in on 36 one season?
I think it has been done yet.
Yeah, so I think it just shows that the level of how good the sides have been, that it's all so close. And yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it's I mean, for us, it's crap. I've never finished bottom. Don't want to finish bottom, but
well, I was about to ask you. We seem to have this conversation last year, and I have to ask you again: are you in genuine danger of finishing bottom? I mean, just looking at that, you just draw far too many games.
yeah, I mean, I swung that. I mean, I know Greavesy drew a lot of games when he won it, but 10 games in regular season is a crazy amount of draws. I mean, look at Dragons there, have got 9 as well. But if I were to finish bottom after everything that's gone on, I'd be delighted if it were at my expense.
You'd be delighted?
No, that it were at my expense that Mike didn't finish bottom. Okay. After everything that's been said and stuff, but got a lot of time for Mike. He's a great guy, but yeah, let's. I mean, it's been crap. It's been crap since the redraft. As much as everybody kept saying we've been good, we've been good, we've been good. I've just not had. I've not had the nous to get out.
Well, if you remember, if you go right back to the draft, I said, or everyone was raving about White Rose. I said, to be honest, I think they're in trouble here.
Yeah, you said it from start that you don't think we were doing much, and you were one of the only ones. And obviously, it just means you know the league. I wouldn't say the game, but you probably know the league and the players that I had as much as anybody else. In fairness,
let's get started with tonight's action then, and go to Vikings, who are already assured. Lovely. That's exactly where we wanted to be. Vikings, who are already assured their place in the playoffs, virtue of the current second place standing. In the unlikely event that Burn only claim one more point from the 2 games remaining, there's still a chance Vikings could even finish top. But we've said before how critical it is to finish in those top 2 spaces, and it's not always a bad thing to finish second either.
As we both know, mate.
As we both know very well.
When you finish top, look what happened after a great season, and then you finish second, and we all know what happened there. But I tell you what, from the original draft and all, for all Jens's redraft, he's done a massive job over the last 2 seasons of creating a team out of transfer business, and that side in itself, even with Fyfie in there, which is proved, as you had him as well, to be a more than competent player in this league as well. And that, for me, that's a massively strong side. I know he's not sold on Tony. To be fair, I think I got lucky with him in last save, in fairness, with how good he can be. He's great on an arm save, everybody knows that, but this is far different from an arm save. But that in itself, it's a great lineup from what he started this iteration with.
No, absolutely agree. Cannavaro in his captain, unquestionably one of the key players. Mendieta and Vieira, if they're at it, which 9 times out of 10 they are, you'd have to go far to find a better central midfield partnership. What do you think about Del Piero and Mido supporting Tony?
I mean, I had Del Piero the season I won it, and for half the season before a window came in that you introduced, he was brilliant. And then he went to box stock, and then he fell off a cliff. He did that. I mean, his stats there, it looked very, very good. But he seems to have these spells of it does half season really well and drops off. I mean, he was great for Ian at Burn when he had him for a bit. He was great for when Dimble took over Churchtown for a little bit and then dropped off. So I think just do with a bit more solidarity there. I think that's probably his weakest point of the team. Probably are them 2 AMCs, but they can both turn it on and get goals or whatever, whenever it suits.
Interesting, you picked that out as a weak area. Robin not included, but hasn't necessarily set the world alight this season for Vikings. History between the sides, Vikings have won every match on this iteration between the 2 sides. As for Stanley, Svensson is away on international duty, as are a couple of players throughout the different squads I've noticed. Jorovic also injured. So they line up like this, with the flat 5 across the middle, but with the 3 arrows. Your thoughts on the tactic first, Steve?
Well, yeah, I remember when I was talking to Tato about this and mentioned it to Dan as well. When Tato first become part of the 0102 community, Rob did a save in Germany, and he got a tactic off of the internet. Did Tato? It's this tactic, Wibwob tactic, and it's unreal. I did download it and have a flick with it at the time of him doing it, and it's really good. But obviously, he's done the setup. And he's got it working well. I mean, obviously, Robbie Keane came off a bench in centre midfield against us and scored. Onsho and Yepes are sort of making me OCD go a bit. I'm sure Yepes is left-footed. I think. I don't know why I think that. But he's got some great players in. When you got Cmsl Gw in there that can mop up. Marcelino has been really good. And he had some spells for Greavesy as well, being really good. Just really solid side, and that front two can just get goals at any time, can't they?
They certainly can. First game of the night, Romoshenko getting a squad number. Can I ask you please for a prediction?
I just think Vikings have been too strong. I can see a 2-1 Vikings here with them being at home.
2-1 Vikings is the word. Let's see if that is the case. They have some early pressure. And there is Del Piero on 5 minutes, opening the scoring. Looks a couple of yellow cards handed out early doors. We're only 13 minutes in. Vikings continuing to come forward. They're doing the Steve Wright bingo card, and Rox is counting the number of to be fairs tonight. I've just seen it.
I know I'm bad for that. No shadow of a doubts have been thrown out, though, I don't think, this season. So.
We reach half-time, game number 1 of the evening. It looked to me like Vikings were the side on top, and the home side do seem to have had slightly the better of it, but maybe not as dominant as you'd expect looking at the way the text went. Jens will be quite pleased with that, though, won't you, Steve?
Yeah, it's you're winning 1-0. They've had one shot on your goal. I mean, obviously, look at that. Foye is doing really well as well. Mike Duff doing his bits, but to be fair, they've. Yeah, I said to be fair again. But we're only having 2 8s in there, and you're winning and you're playing pretty well, knowing that your team have got a fair bit more to give there. I think Jans will be more than happy with that.
Certainly will be. The league basically bullied Steed so much that without a shadow of a doubt was deleted from his lexicon, says Duggan. Looking at Stanley then, and it's the fives that are a concern as much as anything. There's 3 yellow cards as well to crucial players in crucial positions. Yeah,
I mean, you looking at the fives there with onshore Yepes, Mild, and Mild's been decent when he's played as well. Don't know. Yeah, it's one of them. I think they've been that bad. It's one of them that you might stick with and then go again. Oh, Ian, perception is a funny thing.
I can see Jens is sticking till 60. Just wait for any confirmation for what's going on at Stanley. That's poor. Keen off for Romoshenko and play till 60 is the word. There we go. Let's see if that alters things at all as we kick off the second half. It does look like Stanley have had a little bit more of the ball in the early exchanges. Another yellow card dished out. 10 minutes or coming up to Vieira goes in the book as well. And then 10 minutes flies by with nothing happening. And we stop. But look at Fyfie Fyfie there on a 10 rating now as we approach the 70-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, he's there. Like, he's got not much to sweep up, has he, as well? It's like, he's got a central midfielder going towards him, but that's when there's no ball, with or without the ball, he's just swanning about doing his bit. But that's I tell you what, I think he's deserving of a spot in Super League as you proved, and yeah, I mean, I can't see how else but Jens as is here. They've been class.
Duggan say Fyfie equals class. Mido is coming off at this juncture for a favourite of yours and mine, Alyssa Davey.
Yeah, bad call by me. You offered me him or Brujink for Gw. But I went on LCDB's previous leagues. I've been watching it near enough since it started, and he was class for Kieran at Churchtown or whatever he was before then. So yeah.
Honcho and Yepes continue to struggle, rating 5 at the 68-minute mark. No additional yellow cards this half for Stanley, and no obvious fitness concerns either.
No, I mean, I think they're dealing with one striker who hasn't torn up any tree since he's been there as well, have they? So it's a strange one that they're both so bad. I mean, obviously they've got the pressure of the AMCs up there as well, but yeah, it's from them being so good last time out to this. Just I think we probably might see a little rethink, a little tweak come next game.
There's still time to rescue this one, of course. Looking, does Habib Jafar come on to offer something different? Do you throw an AM out of that central midfield selection as well?
Yeah, maybe so. Just to put a bit more pressure on them, on their off away. In fairness, try and get him try to do a little bit more. As much as he doesn't look like he can do a bit more, but just get him moving about a bit more. But I mean, the team's extremely solid. As I think this formation suits the players have got. But it's it's hard to do stuff.
Well, one substitution apiece, one goal in it. As talks were, where was Fyfie playing at this time in real life? Ryan saying Leon or City. Hodgie thought it might have been Lens. Here comes Elise Davey, but Khan gathers the ball. 15 to play. Still just the one goal separates the sides. Heading towards the final 10 now. Here's Del Piero. Still Del Piero. And it's cleared behind for a corner. Yepes puts it behind for a second corner. Vieira! But he puts the ball wide. Into the final 10 now. Do Stanley have that one big chance? Can Vikings see this one off? Oh, and there's a chance for Montella, but it goes over 5 to play. Now Elise Davey. But it's clear now. Jafar. Romoshenko. And Meal picks it up. Oh, Sadeby has it. Tony now and Duff. Del Piero. Linesman's flags up. Tony was offside. 3 minutes being added on. We're into those 3 now. And here goes Mendieta. Still Mendieta. And Honcho goes in the book. Free kick to Vikings. Mendieta takes it. Del Piero. Tony. And Mendieta picks it up now. And Tony again. Honcho deflects. The 3 minutes have now passed. Is there one last chance? Yepes could be in trouble. He's booked now. Free kick awarded. Mendieta lines it up. No time to take it. Vikings win the game 1-0.
That's massive for Vikings. I mean, I've seen there. Obviously, I didn't want to interrupt while the game was going on, but yeah, he's at Leon. It's for to start this, but yeah, that for Jens, that's another statement of intent of how solid he's been, how much of a good team he's created from out of nothing as he had. And yeah, let's see what happens if he finishes in that second place.
Continuing the good form heading into the playoff campaign. Fyfie, the man who everyone's talking about in the chat, kept his 10 rating, gets a very well-deserved Man of the Match award, completed 21 of his 28 passes, 7 of his 10 tackles, of which 3 were key, won 75% of his headers as well, which is remarkable because from memory, he wasn't the tallest lad in the world.
No, I mean, and you look as well, you've got a 10 and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So it's still not. It's not as if they've had to go over and beyond to get a result there. I think it's just containing what the Bostock side were, and he'll be delighted with that. As
for Stanley tries, the subs weren't really able to impact. The cards racked up to 5 in the end. But the concern would be you've got a very, very stellar-looking front line of Montella and Crespo, and between them, they've managed 1 shot in 94 minutes.
Yeah, it's finding them though, and it's as much as people say AMCs are crap in this league, which let's be honest, they mainly are. They still might help with getting the ball to them a little bit more. I mean, I'm looking there when Dimble said that nobody's going to Derek Merklin and creating chances. When you've got 2, in terms of defensive centre midfield players sat there. Vieira, I wanted to play him CM, but he wasn't doing great for me. But I think if you've got him there with sevens, even if he's got sevens, I think he's still vital and winning everything. But fair bit to go for Bostock, and I think you might see a change up again, and probably go back to what they were doing when they really turned a corner.
Absolutely. Apparently, people are saying there's buffering going on. Now, normally I get a warning if there's connection issues, and I haven't seen any, so I will keep an eye on it. Let me know if it continues, because, like I say, everything seems to be going through clearly this end at the moment. But congratulations to Vikings, who win game number 1. We move over to what could be a classic with East Coast and Haggis. Let's just remind ourselves of their positions. Haggis already with the Q. Coast, essentially a win should pretty much do it for them, shouldn't it? Let's be honest. 2 very good sides, had 2 very good seasons. Surprising a little bit, though, and it's the kind of the opposite to yourself, Steve. When you look at Coast and Gazelles, arguably lost more games than you'd expect for teams chasing playoffs, but it's just they don't draw many.
Yeah, if you scroll down a little bit, to me, I think obviously I've lost 1 more game than 2 teams fighting it out, which is it's crazy. In fairness, I mean the way Dimble and Isco started season, it would obviously at this time in this league you're gonna have a lull at some point. It just seems to be a little bit drawn out. So I think he needs a win, try and get a bit back. Obviously, the last 2 games before the playoffs start, I do think he's got enough that he will get through and go there. But yeah, it's been a tough all few weeks for him.
Well, we're using the Haggis Latin Wall version 4 this evening. And we seem to say it every time, or I do at least, Haggis are on. A lot of what they do is dictated by that strong defensive midfield line, isn't it?
Yeah, with players, I mean, you take Live out of there when Gomez is in there as well. Players that are unfancied, never really been in the league before. And I mean, Michelini was superb last year, but then bringing Paulino Santos and Gomez in, I think they laid a massive foundation for where they've gone all season. So, yeah, they've been superb. And obviously, when you're getting players coming in that have performed, again, it puts values up, and then it makes you think, come whenever the inevitable redraft happens at some point, players that might be included from the start rather than bringing out a league.
I do believe that's the 3rd use of the R word this evening, Steve. You can cut that out right now.
What R word?
Redraft.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to redraft, mate. I don't want to redraft at all. I'm just making points. That's all.
You are indeed. Giggs and Deisler on the wings. To be fair, I was going to say 2 players with different Super League heritages, but we've got to put some respect on Deisler's name. He is a former winner, after all.
Yeah, but Figo on right and Diego Tristan up top makes that far stronger for me. That's just my opinion, which means for nothing at this present minute in time, in fairness.
Past meetings between the side have Coast winning 2 and Haggis winning 1, but crucially, Haggis won the last meeting between the sides. Let's have a look at what the home side have got for us this evening. No Rui Costa, no Ortega, no Vogel. Means there's been a bit of a selection headache. But a strong-looking team. And there's only one place to start when me and you are on comms, and that is the man partnering Thierry Henry behind Nicholas and Elka.
Yeah, we were having this conversation off there, which there's a possibility he may be coming back to White Rose again next season.
I think I described him as like a Nico Kranjčar or a Peter Crouch, because you've got full Harry Redknapp with Roy Mackay, and this will be like your 3rd or 4th time with him in the squad.
Yeah, he just when he came in, I think before the playoffs or before the final, he had 15 goal contributions, 16 goal contributions, 16 games. You don't get that out of many AMCs. And it goes a long way, even though it's a different save and whatnot. But Yeah, I mean, obviously looking at there, Petrov at centre midfield, Dimble got massive numbers out of him for Churchtown as well, which I think sometimes is a little bit is he'll do far better than Mark Kerr did for him as well. I know he's obviously let him go now, but it's still, even though he's got them massive players out, that's still a very solid lineup.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, Mendes Silva's looking great in save as well, which he did do from when we got the save at the start of it. And he's only going to carry on improving. Yep. I mean, to be fair, it looks like he could be borderline being more a centre half as well there, but he's just creating depth wherever he's got. So I think come next season, when whatever transfers are being done for him, I just think he'll be able to just drop people in and out, and I don't think it'll hinder him at all.
Okay. Score prediction for this one, please, sir?
Oh, this is
could be anything.
One apiece.
Rock says, of course Mackay is going back. Just announced Swindon Devils title-winning squad. The Swindon Devil title-winning squad of about 6 seasons ago now. I don't think anyone could even name that entire squad anymore.
We're many of my winning squad plus Candela. So
let's kick off game number 2 of the evening. Nothing happening in the first 8 minutes. Live goes in the book. Sort of a bit of a chess match early doors, but there is Mendes de Silva. It's been ruled off for offside, though. Jason Power having none of it. Coast have certain dominance. There's Mendes de Silva again, and he does get the goal this time. 1-0 to the home team. Santos goes in the book. 1-1 Amoruso just before the half-hour mark.
It's been unreal this season, hasn't it?
Yeah. Very, very good player. And finally showing his credentials, because there's many times he was a bit of a squad player at best, but really, really establishing himself. Kieran Dyer was definitely in it, says Ryan. He certainly was. As was GVB, if anyone remembers that. Steve has it tattooed on his scrotum. You put a bit of a tribute act together by any chance, Steve?
Well, yeah, that's it. It's a culmination of title winners. And
are you going to end up with something like, you know how the Sugar Babes have had that many different lineups that the original or one of the trios are back together and can't call themselves Sugar Babes?
Well, that's what I mean, in fairness.
Halftime, 1 apiece. East Coast have created more chances, but realistically, it's fairly even.
Yeah, I've just seen Roxy's comment there. Sorry, mate. When he said if we win, can I have 100% transfer responsibility? He hadn't had an answer yet, which is funny. But yeah,
he says definitely maybe.
Which obviously down to musically talking again, but no, it's obviously slightly on top East Coast there. I mean, in terms of the passes and the tackles won, it's very, very even. So on a knife edge, we'll see what transpires in the second half. But yeah, going to Amoroso. In terms of Amoroso, in terms of what he is, he needs to be playing in a 2. You played him in a 2 up top, and look what's happened. He's not a one striker, or he's definitely not an AMC, and is
Let's have a look at the stats, starting with the home side. Everyone rating a 7, with the exception of Nicholas Anelka and Petrov, who's perhaps not performing poorly, of course, but perhaps not as involved in the centre of that midfield as he'd like to be. But then it is a tough job with. I know if you're looking solely at starting position, he's there on his own, but he's got those 3 men right in front of him, and he's got to try and impact the game from there, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's great. He's probably more as well. He's never a DMC in a month of Sundays as well in Petrov. So I think Dib will be happy with that. They're going about the business. Just a few improvements here and there, and it might see him get a result.
Well, he is going as is till 60. As for the away side, 3 yellow cards, and it's all 3 members of that defensive midfield line. And Santos there is rating a 5. No real conditional issues to worry about. Do you see Rocks changing much here?
No, I don't, because like I say, you go back, it's a thing I do say a lot about when teams can turn it around and they've got a lot to go again. When you know that a lot of the players have performed remarkably over the season. But yeah, I was just laughing there about Rock saying it's not Tekken, about finishing, which I thought it was Mortal Kombat like.
Ian has just said Mortal Kombat for the older generation as well. Both
Well,
going as is till 60. Let's resume the action and see what the second half has to offer. And it's got an early goal, and it's Henry on 46 minutes, gives the home side the lead again. And Amoroso nearly levels up for a second time, but there's free. And Coast have the buffer now. And hopefully, and there's Figo though. And we pause the game on 65, and it is 3-2, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying about a couple of them players could up the ratings. They have done for East Coast, obviously, by Petrov, and but that 3-2 makes it a little bit squeaky, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And apparently, after we'd resumed the action, Rox then changed his mind, decided he wanted to swap some stuff around. So there we go. Yes, I did use the word buffer intentionally there. Hopefully the game isn't buffery, however. Let's so as usual, we start with the home side, looking at the performances condition-wise. Like you say, that goal does just maybe change Dimble's thinking slightly.
Yeah. I can't see him going more defensive to try and protect it, in fairness, but
I'm looking at that sub-spec thinking I would back the 11.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Lusinoff's done really good when he's dropped in this season, as he did for Greavesy last save as well. He's quite he's a very decent bench option. But don't blame the for not changing out there.
No changes for Dimble. Rox, if you want me to make those changes this time round, do let me know. Michelini is still struggling with. He's dropped down to a 5, as has Santos. So they are struggling in that midfield. Still just the 3 yellow cards. Nothing really conditionally wise. But again, like we said, it may have affected Dimble's thinking. Does it now affect Rock's thinking that they've pulled one back?
I don't think so. I think the setup has served them well all season. So I don't think changing the setup in itself, just maybe a couple of little personnel tweaks.
Sorry, this one made me laugh. I thought it was buffering again, but it's just Steve missing letters out words.
Yeah, well, I'm as broad Yorkshire as it comes, so we do that.
Tater saying it's squeaky bum time for Badgers now. Swap Michelini and Santos. Where is he? There he is. Ferdinand off for Morientes. And stick up top and centre.
Yeah, I mean,
so he's chasing it.
Ferdinand, I've had him, and he did okay for me. I think he thought us to deceive on game, personally, myself.
He's either the best centre back or distinctly average.
Yeah,
in the Super League,
definitely.
Home saves, he's obviously fantastic, but in the Super League, he's either the best or average.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that on home save either. I think you get far better out of others. Even somebody like a free transfer like Espin or even Dave Buddy Barnett, there's something about him that's a bit.
Going back into early lockdown 1, I did do a lead save, and I didn't have to replace the centre backs because Ferdinand and Woodgate were very, very good for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, but that's good at saying, isn't it? It's I don't know.
I've not got one of the backs. I'm not doing anything nuts. Are we happy about this? Are we done now, Rox? Can I confirm and play on? Ryan saying, "Come on, Haggis, gets a point." That looks hilarious. Play. Okay, lovely. We will do so. 65 on the clock. 1 goal between the sides. Substitutions coming in. Giggs, still Giggs to the byline. Morientes, what a substitution! Morientes, with his first touch, has levelled things up for Haggis. Here comes Anelka, live. Mackay picks it up, though. Another good tackle. Foul given. Mendes is booked. 77 on the clock. Mendes wins it again, and now here's Scholes. Santos, Amoroso. Oh, but it's away from goal. Scholes picks up the loose ball, but it's won back again by the home side. Both sides struggling to retain possession here into the final 10. Mackay collects it. Still Mackay. Henri! What a save for Westerveld. Sorry, Steve.
I was just saying it feels like there's a goal coming, doesn't it?
There is, but I wouldn't like to say who to at this point. And now Castray's offside. 3 added on. Michelini goes down. Malevsky's booked. 88 on the clock. It is Roy Mackay again. Very involved late on is Roy Mackay. Agahawa. Westerveld with a save, though. Would have been a fine goal. We're into those 3 minutes of injury time. They have played. There isn't an additional goal, but it has been a 6-goal thriller, Steve.
Yeah, what a game. What a game. Just
And crucially, the chasing pack will be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, it just makes it all more squeaky bum, doesn't it? Like Tato said.
Both sides created chances. Very, again, like I said at half time, ultimately very even game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a couple more on target from Coast, but I think, like I say, I think the changes for Aggies just put a little bit more pressure on, and I think they were a little bit of value for the draw, and like people are saying, massively entertaining for the rest of us.
I'm just looking for the Amoroso header because Rox wants confirmation if the wind took it out of play. Where is it? Amoroso's shot was well wide as the wind swept it away from the... Yes, it did say that the wind swept it away from the goal.
I think that's the thing about playing in Australia, the mad weather. I think Martin commented on it a couple of seasons back about the weather and stuff. It's yeah.
Volodenkov picks up man of the match for Coast. Dimple saying earlier that after their bad run, he doesn't feel they've quite shaken it off. He's saying there again, it's just not our season.
Right. Right, mate. I don't know what's happened here. I'm frozen. I can't see out else. I'm stood on the game screen. So I don't know what it is. I'm going to
really? Because you're actually coming through clearer than at any other point at this stage.
Yeah. It's as if my laptop's crashed a minute. Just give me a...
No worries at all.
A minute.
No worries at all. I will carry on while Steve fixes his technical fault as we have a look here at the Haggis. Again, Giggs playing a 9, always star man for Haggis is Giggs. But like Steve was saying in the first game, they haven't had to go above and beyond. There's a lot of 6s there. There's only 1 8 alongside the 9 rating as well. But a fascinating game. And like I said, it certainly keeps things interesting. Last game is an all Argentine 11. Says Rox. Congratulations to both sides on entertaining the masses this evening and keeping things in the table very, very interesting. Next, we go to Casuals at home to Badgers. Badgers almost there, and what an achievement it will be for them to get that Q. Can they do it against a team who, at the beginning of the save, were much fancied to continue Hodge's great record, but it just has not happened for them. But let's start with the away side. Gusty, indeed. Let's start with the away side. Scally and Ambrosini in central midfield does look very combative. To be fair, that 5 centrally from centre mid backwards is very combative. Say Roberto and Emerton, very, very dangerous on their day out wide. And Brozek being supported by Shevchenko and Gustavo Lopez. There is certainly goals in this team if they get it right. Hopefully, Steve, back with us?
Yeah, strange, mate. I could hear everything you were saying. It just all the screen froze, so weird.
Very, very weird indeed. We were just looking at the Badgers team who can secure their playoff spot. Wrong one. Tonight, and you must be delighted for your friend Tato when he inevitably does get that cue.
Well, he's not finishing 10th, is he? Which has been a has been a thing of tales. Yeah, if he does that, I will be. Because obviously, like I say, he come into game a lot later than all us did. That he found us all and became a great part of it. And he's got a really good solid side in there. But I think knowing what may happen for next season for him as well, I think if they do get the playoffs, I think it'll contribute more to like the deals that he's done as well.
Yep.
Potentially, can make him stay up there.
Let's have a look at the home side next. It's been a disappointing campaign. I mean, they're down there towards the bottom of U. A point means they don't finish in the bottom two on the off chance that you win your two remaining games. But when you see this squad on paper, forget suspensions and the team selection for tonight, this squad on paper should not be finishing 12th, should it?
No, but then mine shouldn't be finishing 13th.
Very true.
12th. But I think Soroczynski in CM for me is a little bit. I'd have been putting Cabiasso there. I think he's more of a central midfielder. I mean, and I know people don't like it if you look at players and where they can play. For me, Soroczynski is more of a defensive midfielder, wing back. But looking at the side, he's in there to kick people. Van der Vaart had a great start for Tato last season, and he fell off a cliff massively. You look at his AMCs, he's obviously Odgie knows how to get AMR playing as he has done in past when he had him at Devils. Ursi, I really like. I've tried for Ursi as well, thinking I need another AMC, but I tried for a player that I thought might do it, but unfortunately, he's happy with his options. But yeah, he's done what I did as well. Pizarro, great for Gazelles season one.
When you see the demise of casuals, do you think that maybe there should be being more questions asked of Hodgie given his previous track record?
Thing is, when you're down there like I am, and I've obviously when I've won it, I'd probably say no because I'm worse off with having a little bit more success. But yeah, I mean, there's a very good side in there, and it's just what happens going into next season as well. I think it'll decide how good they are.
Okay. Prediction, please.
One apiece.
Ian saying, make that noise again, please, Steve. The wee squeak.
If I made one, I certainly want to wear her doing it.
Brozek opens the scoring for the away side. Huge goal. Historic goal that could be for the Badgers. Half an hour played. Casuals looking like trying, but Badgers certainly keeping them at bay, almost getting a second themselves. 4 minutes being added on. At the end of the half, we reached the whistle. It flew by, and Badgers looking in a period of control.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously very slightly on top there as well, aren't they? So Brozek getting a goal is interesting as well. I think he's got potential in this save. He did well for Rob at spells last season as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Tate will be massively happy looking at the results that have happened so far and the result he's currently got.
Tate's saying, remember what I told you, Steve?
I can't remember all he told me at this present minute in time.
The Casuals fans burning notepads outside the ground in protest at the failing manager, says Ian. Going to be one of them nights. Congrats on the queue, Tato, says Ryan as well. I'm a new manager, says Hodgie. Yes, Chris Hodgson II is in charge. It went so well for Greavesy at the end of last year, I remember. Truly terrible. Looking at the home side first, Mourinho, the only player in the book. Private there on a 5 rating. And it's pretty much average beyond that. Buffon is up there with the top ratings on an 8.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but Cliver has proved. I mean, he started the season on fire, didn't he? He got
did.
10 in no amount of time. So he's obviously got the potential to carry it on. Buffon doing Buffon in the main, playing great. I still think they're in with a chance for this game.
Okay. Tato, without seeing his ratings, so just pop them up quickly, has already said as is till 60. So it's just on Hodgie whether he changed anything. He's pointing out before tonight he had a 100% record.
Yeah, I've been made aware of what what Tato said now. So yeah.
Pizarro is on for Cliver at half time.
I mean, it makes sense when he's on a 5, but it just depends what services added, etc. As we talk about. But yeah, it's I can't blame Hodgie slightest for making that change.
Looks like that is the only change as well. So we will resume the action for the second half. And early pressure from the away side. A yellow card handed out as we just reached the hour mark. And we paused the game at 64. What did Tato tell you, Steve? Asks Ian.
Well, I can't say that because he's not a massive fan of people talking transfers 2 games before end of season. So we'll see what happens the rest of this game.
Who isn't a big fan? Me or Tato?
Oh no, Ian's not a fan of people talking transfers a couple of games before end of season.
Oh, I see.
So
fuck off! His assistant manager's probably been in more DMs than anybody.
Yeah, I forgot he'd said it to me in fairness, and yeah.
He slept with a game developer, asks Ian. Hodgie going as is. Can you see Tato altering anything here?
Yeah, but I definitely think Brozek for Sosa might be a good option. He's been good as Sosa. I mean, he's down at 88. He's Brozek, so I think him coming off.
Hang on. Conditions a myth, isn't it? Let's just go back to ratings.
Well, yeah, it is for. I mean, Shevchenko, he's just one of them, isn't he? Where do you get best out of him? I certainly think it's up top. I
won't touch him.
I played the 3 or 4 database when David put a put a challenge out, and it was AC Milan. Played him up top on his own, and he were unreal. But that were a database later than this is. So yeah, I think. But I think looking at that, he's winning, he's solid. I probably won't make any changes myself.
Well, the first one read, Lopez off for Sousa for Vlahovic, please. So thankfully, Tato has noticed and corrected it. So it's a double change, if I've understood correctly. Play Shevchenko in a 2. Lopez off for Vlahovic and Brozek off for Sousa. Condition is a worry, says Tato.
But yeah, I agree with Rox there. Shevchenko needs to play in a 2, and Tato knows this. Tato's had him playing in a 2. I think he played him a 2 with Saviola, I believe. Last save, and they were both really good. So, but he did the formation served him well since he's upturning form and being solid.
So we resume the action after the tactical break. 20 minutes to play. Still just a 1 goal between the sides. So Roberto here. Shevchenko, Buffon with the save corner kick, which Buffon collects. Badgers retain possession now. We've got 15 to play. And currently, not much sign of Casuals getting this equaliser. And there probably goes the game as Sousa scores on 76 to make it 2-0 to the away side. 5 minutes to play now. Casuals just have not offered anything, have they?
No, and Tato's corrected me, saying it was easy up top with Saviola. I think Saviola does well in a 2. I don't think he's the best in this league, in fairness, but...
And there's freeze. Roberto finds the net from a set piece. And they are cruising to victory. And I think it is easy to say congratulations to Boost Town Badgers on qualifying for the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. Massive potato is that. And it's massively deserved as well. Congratulations, potato mate.
And a dominant performance to get themselves there as well. It's just so. I don't like to use the word poor. That's disrespectful. Just incredibly average from casuals, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Buffon's dropped massively there, haven't he, as well, since half time. I mean, Dede's done well, but apart from that, it's very mediocre. But I'm sure if whatever business he may have in time for next season, and he's got enough players there to be able to bring some great stuff in as well. So I certainly don't think we'll see Walton as far down the league as we have this season next year.
No, certainly not. So Roberto, the third of the goal scorers, picking up Man of the Match award. We saw in the stats they were dominant. And again, ratings-wise, and it's third game in a row we say this, they've got 2 9s. It's both the wide players. But other than that, they haven't had to go, as I think the term you used was above and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Emerton's been great for him since he started playing him at DMR rather than that 7.11 wouldn't be 7.11 if he were playing at DMR all season. I did have a little dabble talking about him in participation for next year, but obviously other things have happened since. But you got your 2 wing backs there with 9s, but Petit on a 6 as well. It's one of them, but you know he's got players that haven't played overly great as well, by 1 or 2, and he's got a win and done well. So congratulations, Tato, mate. It's been a long time coming, and be interested to see where it goes in playoffs.
That may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
No, it's what Tato's achieved is certainly beyond your abilities at the moment, Steve. That's for sure.
No, I think getting in playoffs is beyond my abilities at the minute. I think that's what
Just picking up on your earlier comment, forgive me for asking, but is there any player you haven't had a nibble at for next season?
There's a lot in these 2 teams I've never had. So,
well, congratulations again to the Badgers. As we go to the final game of Super League Sunday, before we head over to Super League Monday, and it's your White Rose entertaining Gazelles.
Yeah. That's it. It's mad. This little. I wish we were playing. I jumped on tonight thinking, not realizing it. We're hoping mine to be up Monday as well. But yeah, and my watch picked up some that I said, and it does talk to you a little bit. But yeah, obviously I said that I was going to play Caranta for the rest of the season, but with how big a game this is for everybody else chasing, don't mean not to me. I thought it'd just be within the respect for the league and respect for all the rest of the lads, just to put the strongest team I possibly could out, and I feel I've done that. And I'll be honest, I think this side should be beating this Gazelle side, but I've said that a lot of season, and it's not happened in terms of results. And then we go again.
In fairness, I would say on paper, this is one of the strongest Super League 11s we've probably seen so far tonight.
Yeah, it is. I say I'm under no illusions. Raul,
the subs bench leaves a lot to be desired, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Flo come in and he got a 9. I swapped him for Ibrahimovic. He come in, got a goal, got a 9 man at match on his first performance. Then he didn't do right well game after. But apart from that, I don't think there's much more really I could have done. Maldini, I'm not. I know people don't like him. I don't know why. But it was season 4. He won a title of the league at season 4 at 36, so he's still got a season or 2 in him. But yeah, that read right well. we haven't scored in the last 2 games against them.
No, but the home side has always 1-0, which is promising for you.
Hopefully. And hopefully, I reckon everybody else is saying hopefully as well. So,
no Hussein or Donovan for Gazelles tonight, both out injured. They line up as follows. It's become the familiar tactic for Gazelles over the course of this season. And again, as you said, it's important for everyone else. They at the start of the night, they start 6th. They've seen Badgers win. They've seen Coast draw. Stanley pretty much out of it now, you would say, with the other teams still yet to play. So this is huge for Gazelles. They really do need to win this.
Yeah, I'd say so. And looking at that team as well, with what is the Andy dealt, I mean, you've got Ed Nielsen's been really good in spells for him this season. But when he's playing Q4 at AMC, Sadorf, it can either be he's 9 or 6 or 5 or 9s. I've had the same, but Gazelles have had massive numbers out of him, averaging 6 point whatever, and still having 10 assists as well. So you can't fault that. Looking at their front line, it shouldn't trouble. Them front 3 should not trouble the 4 and 2 that I've got, but they've been unreal of Gazelles in terms of the team they've had going from last season. They've traded out players that were really good for them, and they've brought other players in that are probably apart from Totti, not as good, and they've still been great out results. And I think Dan needs a lot of credit for that.
Okay, well, I won't ask you to predict as it's your side, but it is an opportunity to see the sexy Gazelles away kit.
Nice. Okay.
Let's. I will wish you and Dan the very best of luck, and we will kick off this match. And the home side looking to assert some dominance early, but failing to convert. And now here come Gazelles with their first attempt of the night. Adilson gives them the lead. Not what the chasing pack wanted to see. And if one was bad, 2 would be worse. And it is the away side looking the more likely as we approach half-time. 4 added on. We've played 5 already. The whistle has gone. And you are 1-0 down, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, we've been dominated there. Obviously, mentioned Dilson's name. Shouldn't have done. But yeah, that's terrible from him. That's probably one of his worst attacking performances in an half all season, in fairness to that.
We'll start with the away side then, in this instance, with you on comms. And it is the goal scorer that you mentioned, the only player rating above a 7.
Yeah, but we're obviously be worse, won't we? So
Ryan's saying don't twitch.
no.
That's his advice.
You don't need to say that. You don't need to say that. This Paul mentioned has served me well in a lot of good games this year. So.
And Mike saying, if anything, Steve deserves to champ Gazelles here.
And then I'll say I'll strike with that.
I can see Alpha's been in the chat. I hope you're well, buddy. After your news earlier this week, obviously sending my very best to you, sir. He's saying, when you're down, Steve, the Super League kicks you. Dan going as is, so we get a chance to look at yourself, Steve. And Bruce Sinclair rating a 5, not what we've come to expect from him over the last few years. And Tato saying play and pens it in a 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1.
Can I swap floor for bridging? Can I swap with Raoul, please, mate?
So we're going like this and like this, yeah?
That's the one, please, mate.
Lovely, no problem at all. Anyone else yet to offer unlucky Steve sentiments this evening?
Oh yeah, when I had bloody smashed Agate and the sneak draw, no wonder he's lapping out.
Let's resume the action towards the 60-minute mark as White Rose have the first attempt of the half And it could have been 2 for the away side. Would have been a massive goal. But here come Rose again. Goes out of play. Still 1-0 down, Steve, but both sides have had opportunities.
Yeah, with that Abbey Isle, lets it run free. When you see that, you think goal. But yeah, I'm going to go as this, please, mate.
Not even seeing condition?
Nah, it's all right, mate. It's all right.
So Steve confidently sticking as is. Let's see what Dan does with his side. Half an hour to play. Crucial penultimate game of the season, this one for Gazelles. They could just relieve a little bit of pressure on themselves after that Coast result earlier if they can maintain this victory.
Yeah, it's massive for them, isn't it, mate?
You've got 4 or 5 teams hoping you score here.
Yeah, I know that. I know this. But they're asking a team 13th in league to do them a favour, let's be honest.
Oh, no, shit, sorry. I saw Let's Go Gazelles, we've got this, and it was Martin, it wasn't Dan. I'm so sorry, Dan. Fyfie always stopping it on 60 is reminiscent of my skills at the petrol pump. As soon as it goes out of play, I'll make that change. I'm really sorry, Dad. I saw Martin and got confused. There we go. Q4 for Rivaldo. PPP will bid for most of your squad, Steve. Sorry again, Dan. I've made that change for you now. Fine save from Barthez off Raul. And Penza, Veron, Flo. But Barthez, save after save after save. 10 minutes to play. Free kick to Gazelles. Seedorf now. And another foul. Gladzy gets away with a warning. Aviati clutches the ball, but then puts it out for throw-in. 5 to play. Have Rose got that big chance left in them? Into injury time. And there's the final whistle. Massive win for Gazelles. And Steve lets down the rest of the league.
Yeah, apologies to everybody else. But I don't think it is me apologising. I think it's just more testimony to Dan the way he's got it going.
And Ryan straight in there with fucking Barthez. Let's have a look at the match stats. Gazelles definitely deserved something out of the game. Looking at that, are you a little bit disappointed you haven't got a point?
Yeah, I mean, even game again. The problem is we've had loads of even games. We've had loads of being massively on top, not got results. I'm genuinely in a stretch of. I don't think there's much I can do to change it because we've been in every game. We've smashed teams and got beat. We've been crap, sneaked a result, and yeah, that's. But
to be fair, solid ratings for your side there as well.
Yeah, and then to not get a result as well, it's like, I mean, look, I love Eric Addo. I love it. I love him, but yeah, we've done all right. I mean, I don't know what Kendall has done to get his 8 as well. Maldini, just like I think he's bossed it, winning 13 and 15 tackles, but we.
That result also confirms, Steve, that it'll be a bottom 2 finish for you this year and possibly bottom by the end of the night, depending on the Astor result.
Yeah, of course. And like I said earlier, if I'm going to finish bottom for the first time ever,
we've all been there.
I'm happy. I'm happy for it to be a Mike. I don't know what bingo is. I don't know what I've said there.
Been in every game.
Oh, right. That's probably, well, yeah. Yeah, well, I have. But, yeah.
Di Biagio picks up man of the match for another impressive performance by a defensive midfielder.
I mean, I'll be honest, apart from a couple of tackles, what's Totti done there to get his 8? He's only made half his tackles. I know 4 of them were key. Yeah.
Not having that.
Oh, Seedorf assists again, though. He doesn't have to do much. He's going sideways into Totti, and he gets another assist. There's a thing that Gazelles have got where they can get saved off playing, getting assists, and take me off to him for that.
Absolutely. So that concludes the first 4 games. Hopefully, we'll just be able to speed through all this. The Gazelles board were pleased with the 1-0 win. CC banned for a game, Live banned for a game, McLean. They're all banned for the same game. Whoever have got Haggis next will be delighted. Yepes is banned, Mild is banned.
I think it's Greavesy. I think Greavesy's got him last game of the season after all talk and chat earlier. There's some
there it is for you, Mr. Tato. I will keep it on the screen for a second so you can enjoy that.
Well done, Tato.
Well done to Tato. Rastiko's banned now. Malevsky's banned. Zimmerman is off. Elsewhere. The Hodges board are not happy with the defeat.
I don't think Roxy's like full Argentinian team last game of the season for laugh could happen now anyway.
No, certainly not. And here come the other 3. So let's have a review of how the league title looks ahead of these 3 games then. So Bern, 2 points clear of Vikings, who themselves are 2 points clear of Badgers, who are a point clear of Haggis, all of whom have Qs. Gazelles on 39, Coast on 37. They could drop out tonight on goal difference, depending on what happens elsewhere. Although the other teams, what is that? Coast are on +6, Celtics are on +3, Fulchester are on +1. Dragons cannot catch them tonight. So it depends on Fulchester and Celtics whether Coast keep their top 6 spot going into the final game. Down the bottom, of course, Astor can overthrow Rose with 1 game to go if they are to beat Celtics. And it's table topping Bern, who can... they're definitely getting a top 2 finish, and they can guarantee a top spot finish with a victory over Fulchester tonight.
If you want like about with the integrity of the league and whatnot, obviously given the history of the league as well, if I were Ian and we were allowed to do it, I'd be taking my keeper out at 60 minutes to finish second.
Right, let's get on with these 3 games, Steve. And where are we starting? We are starting with the big game at the bottom. Let's call it the game affecting both ends of the table. As we said, Celtics win by 3 goals, puts them up into 6th, and Astor win lifts them off the bottom. And here's how Mike's team line up. So it's Butt with Ekiog and West in defence, Gianna Cheddar holding midfield. But there is a lot of, let's say, industrial tackling players in the centre of the pitch there, Steve.
Well, there's arrows as well for a start with Mike. I feel Van Bommel over Gianna Cheddar would have probably suited a little bit more, especially with an arrow from DMC. Mm-hmm. But that side looks okay, but it's a lot of the teams we've seen tonight and the sides we've seen tonight, it's obviously not as strong as, and I'm sure he's got a bit more resilient come transfer negotiations for next season, and I'm sure we'll see a different Aston next year.
The front line may be aging, but there are certainly goals in it, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. I love Shearer on game. I'd probably say I love Shearer more than Battistuer, in fairness. Early first 2 seasons is great. Locatelli looks really good as well when he got him from Dimble. He's probably one of the best versions I've seen of him. He's always been a player I've always looked at and wanted to maybe sign and play, but he's obviously played. Mobrant can be very good. He can be very, very good as well. But I just feel this Tortuga side might just have a little bit more in them.
Astor yet to score against Celtics in this iteration. On the subject of Shearer, if I could just divert slightly, Can we all just take a moment to laugh at Spurs getting absolutely spanked by Newcastle earlier? Spoiler if anyone had been avoiding the results to watch Match of the Day too, but fuck me, it was funny. And Shearer was struggling to contain himself during what was actually an entertaining FA Cup semi-final as well, with United and Brighton going all the way to pens. David De Gea is fucking terrible in penalty shootouts. Let's just say that. So there is the Astor team. Can they get a goal against Celtics tonight? Let's find out. Greavesy has actually sent me half-time substitute instructions, knowing he wouldn't make it for tonight's game. But let's have a look at his team. I really like the look of that attacking trio. Again, that has potential to be dangerous.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's obviously got history in the league when Tim had him being top scorer. Michael Owen doesn't score goals, but he seems to churn out.
You say that, but he proved at Fulchester he can.
Yeah, but in terms of goals, he turns out 8s and 9s, and his assists. He seems to turn out loads of assists. I think he's very, very good from free. In fairness, Zanetti on the wing. I tried it at Dudley when I had him. I didn't find that you get the best out of him, but he said he's got 2 assists in the last 2 games, which I'm not surprised at, in fairness. And Laurent Robert, for an out-of-league signing, has been really good for him. So this is far better than Greaves started the season with and that he ended last season with. And I think he's, look at 5 assists in 10 games. That's
an incredible record, to be fair.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. He just needs to get a result here and put a bit of pressure on. And he sent me some instructions as well, just in case.
So just so I can, no one can accuse me of anything untoward. The instructions read, I'm not going to make the show, so I'll tell you as well as I can. He wants Torres on at 60 for the lowest performing player in the top 3. And if there is a red, MC comes off and the gap is filled.
That's what he sent me. I said, but what if they're all on an 8? He said if they're all on 8s, bring off somebody for somebody. So
okay. Score prediction, please. Astor v Celtic. Important, both ends of the table, Steve. Obviously, you're hoping for a Celtics win, I know.
In a sense, I can see one apiece. Yeah.
One apiece. Lovely. Let's see if you are correct. I have noticed Mike has even deployed arrows. And then there's the first goal against Celtics. Astor have the lead. A goal that will send shockwaves through the live chat. Keep instructions secret until needed, so opposing manager doesn't know. Instructions on subs. Does it really matter? Zanetti's injury. Do we move that to Berea?
Yeah, I know what I'd potentially do here.
And then Torres?
It'd be Torres, and then that. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't think of injuries, did he?
No, he didn't give us instructions for injuries. But that looks the most sensible, looking at what else is on the bench to me.
Yeah, there's no other option apart from. Put Almeida on. Where's he going to play? So.
Let's return to the action. So still 1-0 to Astor. But now Celtics have an extra striker on already to chase the game. And there it is. There is the substitute. Torres scores to make it 1 apiece. Fucking hell. Torres has scored twice.
I mean, it was the only change you could have done. And
I feel terrible.
Coming off at bench, he's been really good coming off at bench as well for Greavesy. But he's playing against his former club as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you couldn't have put anybody else on there, Fyfie, mate.
Never mind. 2-1 at halftime then to Celtics, which changes the picture in the playoffs all over again. Ryan saying, I knew it was coming. Torres shouldn't have been on till 60. Steward's inquiry house calling for now. Fucking hell. Let's have a look at the ratings, starting with the home side. Is Ty normally captain? How do you mean?
Yeah, I think Greaves is like me. In terms of captain, I always like game decide me captain me. It's whoever it thinks is greatest. But yeah,
everyone's asking me to let Astor score. No,
we're not. We all can't play Marcelo Bielsa and be greatest man ever to manage a team ever. But no, I think like Ian just said there, everybody made that sub. Even AMC, he scored 2 goals out of AMC as well, which is it's a freak, really, isn't it? So
certainly is. Looking at the Astor team, no disciplinary issues, no conditional issues. Although I might be looking at Shearer on 82% and considering that as a factor. But he's going nothing till 60. Obviously, nothing Greasy needs doing either. So just a quick look at their stats, and they're not too dissimilar, really, are they?
No, but I think for Greaves now it's to play through because it were a front three. If anybody were less than an 8 and blah blah, so just go.
Certainly is. Torres looking for a hat trick, but here come Astor again, looking to equalise themselves. It's a yellow card and a free kick to Astor in an attacking position as we reach the hour mark. And they're certainly still in this, aren't they, the home side?
Yeah, I mean, Malbranc, obviously, I'm guessing Malbranc's got the assist as well. I like seeing Malbranc on the game, in fairness. I think he's good. I think he's never really had a go or been used in the league, playing that right wing. But yeah, you just feel like Mike just needs to try to change it up a little bit. Just try and probably Inzaghi for Shearer for me because I like Inzaghi. Got a lot of time for him, but yeah, I don't think there's much you can do because I don't think he's as out of the game as it may seem.
Get Fiore on for one of those central midfielders as well, maybe.
Yeah, but you can see why he's got Collusion in Holland in there. You know, trying to when you're playing one DM, just trying to be defensively minded as well. And Fiore were great for Ian, wasn't he, last season until let him go, and he's fallen back over a cliff, which he's gone back to himself. That were the old Fiore and Nakata laugh that everybody used to have for Ian when he used to offer you Fiore and Nakata for your best player. But yeah, I still think they're being solid, if anything. So I probably won't change too much.
So it's Shearer off of Fiore, and Fiore to AMC. So are we lining up like this? Or is Locatelli going up front? Mike says done, but I'll just let him clarify. I'll just let him clarify a tactical change, or is it a personnel change?
He won't be adding arrows. I think he's probably got his OCD's probably going over that limit. We're having 3 arrows on his.
Just allow Mike time to confirm. 2-1-4-2-1. Lovely. Yeah. And right, Fiore, get your medals out, says he. And as we said, nothing required for Celtics. So we resume the action with half an hour to play. Gianna Chedagoat gets booked. And Astor still trying to create. Let's slow it down while there's only 1 goal in it. 15 to play. Is Boomer. Holland.
Yeah, it's a big game for chasing pack. So
Fiore off the crossbar. And now 11 minutes to play. And here come Astor again. Scenes if they score. Torres gets a talking to. Free kick. Oh, Batistuta, he's angry with himself for not converting that. And Rossini puts it over the bar. 5 minutes to play. Can Asta get this one big chance? 3 minutes being added on. Corner kick to the home side. Clearly nothing comes from it. Batistuta! Oh, and again Batistuta! Locatelli! Tiabi in the way. And now it's Berea attacking Ardi. Powie. Into injury time. And there's the final whistle. Celtics get the win, but it was hard work for them, Steve.
Yeah, that's massive agrees with that. Obviously, I mean, extremely even game looking at that. I was laughing at that's why I was laughing at Roxy's comment about being when I see with Cotto. And nice to see somebody I've seen before, CM Monkey. But I wonder if Dan knows him saying even Gary. But yeah, he's got things to work with, as Mike, as much as people talk about transfer business. Get players that like at the end of the day, this is one thing that slightly annoys me is if you make transfers, people have an opinions on your transfers when you're only bringing players in because you feel they will improve your team or they'll make your team better.
Opinions are like arseholes, mate. Everyone's got one.
Exactly. And there's Ryan there, disaster, which is exactly what I'm talking about. But the put up a good fight there of Asta. And I mean, look there, let's say Malbrank obviously got the assist, but it's shooter an 8. Nancheda, who is following on the Asta tradition of being he's done all right for Mike as well.
And look who picked up the Man of the Match award.
Yeah, again, an assist. He plays well. He gets an assist. Like it was Fulchester. Well, apart from when I were beating Fulchester 2-0 in last save, and then he scored 2 in 90th minute. Both 2. That's where it's what socks come out and socks got cut and there's
Ryan of the socks.
Then there's Ryan being pedantic. Luckily, you've got Shea Given coming in, which Anzog, but I'd play over Shea Given any day of the week. But Tyree with an 8 as well means that Aston have done a little bit and put the pressure on as well.
Well, Celtics have piled the pressure on not only Coast, but the likes of Dragons, who we're about to see, and Fulchester as well. Triple P, they are the away side tonight, and why do I feel like I haven't actually seen anything about their team? One sec. Let me just double check that I've done Triple P correctly. Where's Triple P? Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. No, I know. Triple P's fine. All good with Triple P. I remember what I'm doing now. As we were, let's bring the side up. So full of quality. Johnson moving back into centre defence with availability, but back in the starting 11. Van Bronckhorst and Emerson in centre of you. This looks a bit like a Devils tribute side as well. And of course, your favourite, Steve Finnan, playing at left wing back.
Yeah, well, he's beautiful, isn't he, Stephen? I were heartbroken when I let him go, but it would involve with getting Candela in, and I mean, look at his stats there. In this league, he develops so well. I mean, look at that 7.8. He's class. I love him, but I genuinely think he's one of the best like DMRs on game. The one thing about this is this formation should be brilliant. I think it was Scott that alluded to it over last season, last save. This formation should be really good, especially if you've got a couple of players that can play up top together. But it just doesn't do it. I don't know why. There's something about this formation that doesn't seem to click when you've got. I think I won a game. I changed to this. I remember when I played Agis. I think I beat Agis 1-0 last save,
Yeah.
And then I played the same formation game after and got spanked, which is pretty much like me anyway. And it just doesn't seem to work. And you're looking at the players that Rob's got there, it should work massively. It really should, but it just doesn't. And I don't know.
Let's see if it does tonight. There against the Dragon side without the suspended and Dye. And they line up as follows. Not much in the way of surprise. Gerard in holding midfield with Keane in the centre with Bowyer. Reyes, Ronaldinho supporting Constantino. Obviously, Ndai is a big miss, but Dragons are another one of those sides who just seem to have a squad load of quality when it matters.
Yeah, I mean, and that's down to the fact that Duggan wants to try and milk every last little drop of milk out of her breast for a transfer. That he gets. I mean, people. I mean, Ian said
I
to
wouldn't
me
know what
earlier,
that's like, mate, having not really ever got involved in transfers and not milked a breast for a while either.
No, well, I don't think I ever breastfed. So, but looking at it, it's the thing is, and I love Duggan to bits. He knows it, but he values his player on what they are at their standpoint. But then he values your players on how they've been performing. But when against the teams and the players that he's wanting, he don't value his players on how they're performing. So if that makes sense in a way, I think retraining Reyes to play in central is very good. His class is Reyes, and I've never ever tried retraining him. Which obviously, if I ever have him again, I will do, because it is one of them when you've got a AML who can't play centrally. It's brilliant, but I just think that's a very good team. But I know he's a bit pissed off with Constantino at Minix. I think he had 6 shots and didn't get one on target or whatever it was. I said, but you get 10 goals out of your striker over the course of a season. I think in this league, I think it's very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, big match this for Dragons. So just to examine their position at the start of the night, they are 4 points behind Coast. They've just seen Celtics win as well to join Coast on 37 points. So they need to win to stand any chance of finishing in the top 6.
Yeah, it's do or die in it for this. And they've been at home as much as they were good for a spell and then not great for a spell. As much as I love Rob, I think I can see a 2-1 Dragons win coming here.
2-1 Dragons win. And there'll be music to the home side's ears because they simply have to win. Or we lose another team from the conversation. Strong start by the away side in the opening 10-15 minutes. And that's huge. Bowie has been sent off.
Well, this is what I'm talking about how he values players. Bowie has been garbage. He scored 1 goal in 18. And he's been crap.
And 3 assists as well.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. CMs and AMCs are the worst people to try and get ratings out of in this league. But I think Keane Central.
If I could just interrupt here, because I don't know if he's aware while he's been taking responsibility. Alf, red card obviously means you're allowed to alter your setup for Triple P as well if you so wish. So have a think and let us know if you want to change anything. Sorry, carry on, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've seen Duggan's comment there about centralising Keane. I mean, obviously, with him being central now, I might have been tempted just for keeping solidarity to pull Reyes back and just leave Ronaldinho central. But I think it's a good move.
Okay. So he will be playing in the centre midfield against Van Bronckhorst and Emerson himself. And just see how that works. Do we think Al's going to alter anything here?
I mean, personally, I wouldn't.
He isn't.
Yeah.
Let's resume the action. See what happens. Alf's saying we don't play well with 10 men, really immersed himself. If anything, Dragons have played better with 10 men.
Yeah, it's been all Dragons, hasn't it? This commentary.
Just as you say that, Bayer has to make a save from, I think it was Van Nistelrooy, as we go into first half injury time. And it's 0-0 at the break. Dragons have actually created more of the chances. Pass completion, very similar. Tackles 1, triple Ps, 50% is not good. And so it looks like Dragons are winning the physicality in this game.
Yeah, and that's without a signing team as well. So it's a big positive for him. I just think it's just a case of keep going, and then they might squeeze a winner out of it.
Rob's in the chat as well, put here for the taking these chumps out. So he still believes very much in his side. What do the 10 men do here then? Do they go chasing it already, knowing that they have to win? Or do they, given how strong they were with 10 men, do we let it play out a bit longer and then go for it if it's looking bleak from sort of 60 minutes on?
Yeah, personally, I'd leave it as it is till 60. And then if the proper chase, I mean, Arca there is... when he moved up for Fulchester, I ended up getting him a loan from Fulchester in last save, and he was class. He played about 5 games for Macca on left wing. I think he averaged 8 point odd. He were great, but he can be short-lived, can it? But I think Nicholas Eliminate says a lot about what's going on in the game, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Rob and Alf have decided to go as is, whereas Duggan is making a change. Back is coming on for Reyes.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Archie Back was great for half a season last year, and again fell off a cliff and been crap since.
10 minutes gone. Dragons again continue to shade it as we reach the hour mark. Another yellow card, but still 0-0. Tense this one, says Ryan. It certainly is. Dragons still have Ronaldo to call upon. Do they drag Constantinu at this point because he's not scoring?
Personally, maybe so. I like Ronaldo. I had him last save. I got him from, to be fair, I got him from Rob when he let Palmer sort his transfers out at the start of last save. I think I got Gallardo Ronaldo for somebody, and he starts look best I'd ever seen him as well, and he was decent. He was decent for me. I think he's got a place in this league, and I think he can be very, very good.
Rob's still very much believing in Alf that he can turn this round and get the result. Dragons, it's a big minute. It's a huge moment. This tactical break here is huge in the season, not just for Dragons, but for so many other teams as well. Yeah,
definitely. And I've seen Duggan's comment there, and I knew that would come in. But to be fair, I agree with what Ian said there as well as being good as Baldini. I think Baldini looks unreal as well. I think for what he is, should be a starting centre back in this league for over years when it looks like he is.
So if I've understood Duggan's instructions, that's what we're going with for the last half an hour. Your thoughts?
Back up top, run it with Cons, run it in the middle, backward up. No, he's going all Leathersford Mega Horse, running backwards arrow, just jumping, making headers. So yeah, that's what I get from it, mate. That's what I get from it.
Do you think it could work?
Yeah, I think it can definitely. Yeah, he were great. He were great when Dan took over Leathersford for him with the backwards arrow. I mean, we were only playing it 2, but he were great. Yeah.
Alf saying what he does depends on the fitness. He very much likes to know what these players are doing fitness-wise, and they're looking strong.
There's only Salihamidzic who's just below 90, isn't it? So
in fact, I'd probably be a little bit frustrated that they're not working harder.
Yeah, well, that could be a good point, that, couldn't it? But I don't.
If it's me, and I'm, particularly as it's Alf, and and I don't know how long I'm involved for before Rob firmly takes the reins again. And knowing the sort of manager Rob used to be, I may be taking Scholl off, moving Smith back, and letting Palermo and Van Nistelrooy go as a big, powerful top two.
Well, on the flip side of that, it could be Scholl off Palermo up in centre, and then a diagonal
And they go
to Emerson, and then that's Rob's like.
He could go 3 up top as well.
Yeah, that was his dominating team when it was lost, where he'd score 5-6, concede 5-6 at sometimes. But yeah, Emerson Arrow Diag, Scholl for Palermo, and it just looks like that's Rob. But
even into Raphael, who I can see has joined the live chat. Hope you are well. I'm feeling nervous, and I'm not even involved in the playoff race. This delay waiting for Alf. Here we go. Yes, it's as I described. So Smith is moving back, and Palermo coming on for Scholl. Big balls, Alf going all out for it.
Smith at AMC doesn't do it for me, in fairness. So that's just my opinion, though.
Is that 12 players? Let's no, not yet. It's only an hour gone. Let's see what happens here. 15 minutes to play. Still 0-0. 10 to play. Dragons need a goal. Here they come. Constantinu, but Finnan's there. Gerrard picks it up. Keane! Ningatulin with the save, and Emerson completes the clearance. They withhold the pressure. Sanhavic, Van Bronckhorst, Van Nistelrooy, Palermo, Smith! What a save. Palermo! And again, but Keown gets in the way. And Dragons need to be careful. What a goal! Ronaldinho looks to have saved it from distance. 5 minutes to play, and the 10 men have taken the lead. What a season this is. Into injury time. Ronaldinho back. Ronaldinho. Johnson, Baldini. He's overhit it. Bayer can waste time, surely. Here they come again. Arca. But Gerrard gets it, Finnan. And there's the final whistle. And Dragons, with 10 men late in the game, keep their season alive a game longer.
Yeah, well, obviously, like I said, before and obviously fancied a win. That's a fairly even game. Obviously, both passing. I think just few more tackles, one from Dragons, and just keeps them massively alive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And you can see the difference in reaction. You've got Tato saying, "Sweet mother, have mercy." You've got Ryan saying, "For fuck's sake." Alf says, "Told you we can't play with 10. Dino to the rescue, says Jamie. And it is the Dragons skipper who gets man of the match. Solid ratings throughout. And the first time a man of the match has got 8, which you know I'm not a big fan of.
No, definitely not. But I know he would obviously, Duggan were pointing out that Martin Keown were coming back in. I said something earlier. I don't know if it were in group or whether it were in DMs. Somebody, old players, if you carry on playing them in this league, I'll keep the ratings, and they might just slow down a little bit. And Keown's been class there, hasn't he?
Superb, yeah.
To be fair, I'd say take that goal out of bloody Ronaldinho. I think he deserved man of the match there.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Mixed ratings throughout for Triple P, but Steve Finnan doing the business when you're watching. Could he be the latest ex-player to turn up for Steve? We'll wait and find out. But congratulations to Dragons, who have also taken it to the last game. As Ryan already says, not looking forward to this. Could Fulchester be the team to fall away from the playoff picture with 1 game to go?
Yeah, it's interesting, to be fair, because like people talk about when Ryan won it twice and this, that, and other.
It's mainly Ryan that talks about it, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, but absolutely unreal achievement. But the league seems a far different league now than it was when he did that.
You're suggesting that he's like the Jose Mourinho of the Super League. He's living off past glories, but he's not really up to it anymore.
No.
Go on, Steve. Go on, say it, Steve. Go on. Say it, Steve.
I won't do that. I just feel that there might have been not as many people that knew what they were doing as much in that league. And that's not taking away his wins. I just feel that it feels more competitive now than it's ever been throughout my time watching it since it started, in fairness. And yet, no, I won't do that too. That's
Well, here is the Burn team then without Barry Ferguson suspended, Ayala's injured. I thought they had someone else missing, but clearly not. It goes without saying, though, doesn't it, that even when you're missing potentially big name players, and you can name this lineup, there's a reason that you look set to finish top again, and you're one of the favourites, if not the favourite, for the title.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've just seen Ian's comment there, and yeah, luckily I have got Viduka coming in. I love Viduka, whatever it is, wanting me to say it. But yeah, he's still massively strong. Saviola and AMC, I hate, but then he did bits for Jens. In fairness, I remember him posting comments saying, "Oh, Saviola can't play AMC, blah blah blah," but he genuinely he normally can't. But when you look at his bench, there it's an
embarrassment of riches.
I don't feel his bench can come on and change anything. Beckham,
no,
Beckham does not suit this system. He needs to play wide right. Maka got great numbers out of him with assists, but he needs to play right hand side. Unless you're going to try him at DMR, which you won't do because he loves Contra, doesn't he? More than anybody. Yeah, I think his bench is crap, but he's got an 11, which that 11 might look a little bit different next season as well. So,
Fulchester are one of the few sides to have a good record against Burn across the iteration as well. So let's see if Ryan can maintain that statistic. As for the away side tonight, a fully fit squad to choose from. And this is what he has done with it. Again, a lot of recognisable names there. Nedved out left wing back's an interesting choice. Dyer, obviously, in his proper position. Strong looking centre back partnership. And it's big game fray time, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got this thing about Seb Frey as well. He's like best keeper on game. And I think
you either love him or you hate him. He is literally the Marmite goalkeeper. You love him or you hate him.
Yeah, I think Jens had the comment overnight about it being right, as in he on an home save he's an absolute keeper bully, but I don't think he's the be all and end all. Toldo's been
superb goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think Toldo's been. I think Toldo's proved mostly that he's the best keeper in this league, followed by Barthez, mainly for Gazelles, and then
I would say Barthez is number one, surely.
And then you look at Sander Westerveld. How can you overlook Sander Westerveld after the last couple of seasons? So even at last save, Ian got fed up with Toldo. He put Westerveld in, and they were class. So yeah, but looking at Ryan's side here, I think it's a little bit too defensive. Nakata,
is there enough creativity in there?
No, to be fair, I think going from left wing back, never with a left wing back, is very interesting. Probably have a long arrow on him if that's what you want to do. I think for him to still be in contention and still have a chance of getting in the six, Kier's crap. He's got two defensive midfielders in his centre midfield. Nakata has been pimped out by Edwards loads over years, and he's been very good. He was very good for Maka playing on right wing. I'm not sure I see him getting a result here.
Well, he certainly needs one. Let's just again remind the situation at the start of play. So 3 points behind Coast. Celtics are up on 37. Dragons are up on 36. So defeat doesn't mean they're out of it, but it kind of means they're out of it.
Yeah. I still wouldn't be surprised to see him get a result, considering Burns' recent form.
Okay. Score prediction? I don't think I've asked you for this yet.
You want one apiece.
One apiece. Early yellow card, and that is not really what Ryan will want to see. His key defender going off injured after just 8 minutes. Yeah, and without a recognised centre-back. So what I'm presuming is it's going to be something like this.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be. That's it. That bench is it's weak in terms of options. But I don't think that looks any weaker than it to start with. Side centre back, which is
and any defence that has Yapstam and then doesn't have Yapstam does look weaker.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's class, especially the first 2 or 3 seasons. Is unreal.
Ryan says, "Yep, that's perfect." So we will carry on and see how that injury upsets the Fulchester side. Sigalko's name suddenly popping up. They want a penalty. The rest giving it, and Sigalko scores it 1-0 to Burn from the penalty spot. And it is going from bad to worse for the away side as we reach half-time, Steve.
Yeah, I mean...
Not exactly the most stellar game for the last one of the night, is it?
No, definitely not. But I know Ian don't like it. He hates the fact that people call Sigalko. He made a massive call at the start of this save because last save, Sigalko were the best he's ever been in Super League from watching it from years back. So he swapped David for Sigalko, and he's just been absolute talisman. I mean, his area is on a 7. He's had 1 shot, 1 on target, which is obviously a penalty. I think he's just got it with him. And I think Ryan has worked it out a little bit.
Nedved not enjoying life out on the left, is he?
No, he's not. Obviously, I made a little offer to Ryan for Nedved earlier, which you
do surprise me.
I've never had Nedved. I've never had him in the game ever. Over my old 21, 22 years or whatever, I've never had him whatsoever. So it was just... and then now he's bringing Alex on from the Catter when he's bringing the Catter up as in he's better than Roy Mackay in AMC. But we'll that's a different conversation, is that, isn't it?
Does that look better for you now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of creative players there. Chiesa for me is probably not slightly up to it, but there's a lot of creative players there. He can get back into it, definitely.
And now Zerleus picks up an injury, and that could be crucial. So as I'm getting good at this tonight, I'm going to carry on predicting. So I'm going to go with that.
Pretty straightforward, that, isn't it? Unless you just put Aga in there just so you can start kicking people. Al's favourite.
Just to take the piss.
Yeah.
Rock's saying, I hated Alex until a couple of days ago. Now have a lot of time for him as a winger.
Oh, yeah. Well, Tato's little challenge he tried about your goal differences. I started in Brazil, started with Cruzeiro, and I actually played him central of 3 AMCs, and his class. It's so crap that he's so class. Like when you play an home save, but he just doesn't transpire. I think I got him for... I can't remember what deal was with me and Ian. I got Crespo and Alex for a couple of people when I was a deal, and Alex should be far better in this league than he is.
We've reached the hour mark. Beckham did come on. Still 1-0 to Burn after that penalty from Sigalko. Carlos absolutely destroying things out on that left-hand side, as he has done plenty of times this season.
Yeah.
I don't see Ian changing much else here, do you?
No, I don't. And I proper undervalued Carlos, in fairness, in last save as well. I'd never rated him, never had him, never rated him, and I think I give him a dimble for cash. I think my first ever game against Agis, when I got a chance again by Agis, I played him left 3 DMCs, and I shouldn't have done really. But now you realise his value, and he's an elite left wing back on this game.
Fulchester need something realistically. Does Djibril Cissé come on? Do they go 2 up top? What do they do in this situation? As a more recent winner than the 2-time winner, what's your suggestion?
I mean, yeah, I'd probably say Cissé for Chiesa and a 2 up. Maybe that makes sense as well. Definitely. I'm so surprised that
I'd just like to say, sorry, I appreciate I'm not always one to talk, and Ryan does hold the highest of standards, but I cannot let anyone get away with spelling central like that. That's terrible, Ryan.
For me though, Chiesa. The weird thing is Ryan going in, bringing Chiesa in and starting him, which it really makes you wonder. But
so I don't look when I type, says right. So to clarify, Riquelme's moved up. Davids is central on his own, and Dyer and who's the other one? Alex have moved forward to winger positions instead of wing back. So he is pushing for it, but does that leave Burn gaps to exploit?
Yeah, when he sat there telling me to stick, and then he just goes,
don't twitch, Steve.
Yeah, don't twitch.
Burn suddenly applying the pressure themselves. 20 minutes to play. Maka will be turning in his grave at the shoddy spelling on show. Alex goes in the book, 15 minutes to play. Fulchester looking for that big opportunity, but here's Contra for the home side. Nedved could be in trouble. Ref goes to his pocket. Nedved gets booked. 10 minutes to play. Beckham on the ball. Now Carlos. Still Carlos. And now Sigalko. Frey does well. Sigalko smashes it low. Double save. And there's the goal. It's Saviola. And it's that Fulchester season over. 2-0 to the home side. Nedved is cleared off the line. Burn just will not go away. And there's the goal for Sigalko. It's 3-0. And Fulchester are having an absolute mare at the furnace. Sigalko with his 20th of the season. Not giving up, playing for pride now, Fulchester. But here come Burn again.
Still going.
And here's Alex. Riquelme! Vieri picks up. Nedved. And what a save. Corner kick. Dyer puts it wide himself. There's the full-time whistle after 5 added on minutes. Northern Burn guarantee finishing the table top. Fulchester all but mathematically out of the playoff picture now after a 3-0 defeat on the penultimate day of the season. They tried and huffed and puffed, but their on-target percentage from the chances created just nowhere near good enough to trouble a relentless Burn.
Oh, they were class there that second half, weren't they? That's it. I feel for right. And people, I know Tato's been a big advocate of digging at him, saying, how do you feel coming back in when the league's a lot different now? Yeah, it is a lot different. And obviously, he was dealing with Macca's team, and I think he did great business. I know I've said it before, and I know you mentioned it. And I don't want it to happen for 2 or 3 seasons or whatever. When a redraft happens, if Ryan's still about at that point, that's where we'll see the real Ryan rather than flitting about trading players out that he don't like.
I think, in fairness to Ryan, so he obviously had a bit of bravado. He was building it up, 2-time champ, blah blah blah, and then he realised the magnitude of the job. But he did change stuff in the transfer window to kind of put his stamp on the team. I think he will learn a lot from this season, and as he's put there, we will be back. Definitely.
So
a learning opportunity.
Fyfie, are you saying there he stuck his nose in committee to change the transfer window to suit his self? Or what is that?
I'm not suggesting anything of the sort. No, I think the whole point a committee was brought in was to make fair and rounded decisions for everybody. And I think as a new manager, Ryan did what was right by his team, and so I don't think from my experience of Ryan, he's not one for excuses. So he won't be having this, it's Macca's squad. He had plenty of opportunity to put his stamp on it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen his comment there. Just I did the opposite. See, I'm only having a laugh. I'm just having a little dig. That I've had a lot of digs of Ryan.
Yes,
before.
you've had plenty.
Yeah, a couple of other ones, but yeah.
But congratulations to Northern Burn tonight.
Fulchester will be probably be a different beast next season as well, as most teams will be.
That concludes the action for tonight. So let's just have a quick refresh. So we had Coast 3, Haggis 3, Vikings 1, Stanley 0, Casuals 0, Badgers 3, Rose 0, Gazelles 1, Astor 1, Celtics 2, Dragons 1, Triple P 0, Burn 3, Fulchester 0. Leaves the table looking like this. Burn guaranteed top spot on 50 points. Vikings 45, Badgers 43, Haggis 42, all with the Qs. Gazelles, they are all but secure. They can still be overthrown, of course, but you kind of feel they should just about make it at this point. They're on 39, Coaster on 37, Celtics on 37, separated only by goal difference. Dragons 36, Fulchester, who we've just been talking about, not technically out of it yet on 34, but you feel they are at this point.
-8 goal difference it puts them out of it personally.
Stanley then 31, Triple P 28, Casuals 25, and then there's that battle at the bottom still to be decided as well, with just 2 points the gap. And the final round of fixtures, Astor rock bottom take on Burn top. Will Burn be resting players for the playoffs? Could Astor take advantage? Massive match as third place Badgers host sixth place Coast. Stanley face Casuals in a nothing match whatsoever. Fulchester Dragons, it's huge. And I'm sure if it wasn't the last time, then the time before, I was doing the commentary for that game because they were taking the piss about I was going to criticise both teams. And look, they're both scrapping for that playoff place when I said both should be in there. Gazelles, fifth versus second. Can they get the point required at home to already qualified Vikings? Haggis versus Celtics. Does it get any bigger than Haggis versus Celtics, with Celtics still trying to qualify to join Haggis in the playoffs? And then Triple P versus Rose in the basement dweller battle. Absolutely sensational scenes on what will be the final round of the regular season. I'm presuming Wednesday night, normally a 9:30 kickoff. It's certainly going to be fun, isn't it, Steve?
Oh yeah, there's some massive games there. To be fair, I wanted to play a team of delinquents, in fairness, tonight, but then I realised I was playing Gazelles. So I think a load of my reserves and this, that, and other. I'm just going to play a lot of players that deserve a game and see how they go on. If we win, fair dues. If we don't, we don't. But yeah, I think look at that, 10 assists for Carlos. That's class. That that is absolutely class. Yeah, it's that shows how minimal knowledge I had of a game for everybody else. I let him go to Dimble for cash.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Before we go anywhere, I could see Rox here saying, what's the announcement? He's obviously read the bio to this video. Yes, I've been saving it to the end because I didn't want to detract from the entertainment this evening. But I have announced to the streamers, and this wasn't even in the full Steerco or whatever they're called. I announced to the streamers that this was to be my last season in the Super League. I don't feel I've given my best for everybody this year, as I've taken more and more of a step back. So I have taken the decision that this is my final season Super League. I don't have a club to manage. So really the only thing I'm doing is streaming once every 2 weeks. I'm not even really getting involved in the discussions for rules and stuff. So the team that have taken it on are doing a fantastic job of doing so. And they certainly don't need a relic of the Super League like me hanging around for no reason whatsoever. So they have asked me to point out, or not point out, they have asked me to say that does mean that for next season there is a streamer's position available should anyone wish to fill it. It's not particularly big shoes to fill. That is for sure these days. But yeah, so that is the announcement that I put in there, that this is my final ever regular season fixture to stream. They have been very generous and said that I will be able to play a big part in doing the playoffs. And I believe whether it's technically my turn or not, I'm already down to host the grand final for this season as my final hurrah. But yes, I left it to the very end because this season deserved the attention and tonight's action deserved the attention, not me. But yes, that is the announcement that it is shortly to be my very last hurrah in the Super League.
So, whoa. What if a job come up and you can get back involved with manager, mate?
There are people ahead of me in the queue, but I am on the list if a job was to become available.
But that's what I'm asking, because we can't. Honestly, regardless, I think you need to be up there on top of if a job comes available. I think you need to be up there. Just you've been what you did like prior with all your blogs and this, that, and other to last 2 seasons to now. I think losing you from it all is just shite that, mate.
No, not shite at all. Listen, we're in what I've even lost track. Are we in season 14 now? And just to put it in perspective for anyone who's not Swan level CM historian, when the first ever Super League was announced, I was the first person to submit their draft team in to Alan when he was going to do it. And from there, I proceeded to finish bottom and second bottom. I had 1 failed attempt at the playoffs, continued to finish bottom. Then all of a sudden, it came good. I had that dramatic golden goal playoff defeat to Fulchester. The next season, I won it. And then I had the honor and the privilege of being able to go the other side of the show, so to speak. And I had 4 great seasons running it on my own, and I've enjoyed being able to kind of take a back seat but still be involved this year. But yeah, it's tough. The Super League will carry on getting better, and the only way it does it is with fresh blood, fresh ideas, and 14 seasons is enough for anybody. So I'm happy to step away and fill in when required.
I think COVID was great, wasn't it? Let's be honest. As much as it were crap for the general, COVID was great for all us lot. But no, I'd love you to get back involved managing a team.
Just to clarify the point here, Ryan's put needing back with Smuts as assistant. Never had a chance to defend the title. That's right. I never lost the title. Tato's saying Smuts is a badger. He may well be at the moment, but believe me, if Fyfie comes calling Mr. Tato, then he is not a badger much longer. He has made it perfectly clear that Leicestershire unite to take over the Super League when the time comes right. And when that bat signal goes up and the Devil's badge is there again, there will be an opportunity for the Smuts and Fyfie dream team. Could you imagine another final with me and Smuts against the Dragons? Oh, it would be carnage, absolute carnage.
Let's be honest. If you got Smuts involved, mate, I think your tactics far better than Smuts would have been. So
there's Duggan. Look, Fyfie Smuts versus Dragons would be box office. It would be superb entertainment for everyone involved. Especially if we won, not so much if we lost. It's another one that you've got there. COVID were great. Clip that.
I see what Mike said there. For us lot coming together and through Jam community, that were probably it wasn't right. I don't think the wording were right, but.
No, duh.
No, but I mean, for us, like coming together, we've made mates that like we never thought we'd have had like 3 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
No, this is true. And listen, I've said before, I haven't made half as many trips around the country that I've wanted to actually meet you guys yet, and I will still intend to do so even when I'm not involved. But what the Super League has given me personally is well beyond measure of It's well beyond measure of a couple of kits with players' names and a star that a lot of people won't get. If it wasn't for the Super League, I wouldn't be doing Fools Rush In. You know, I wouldn't be half as confident as a person, and I certainly wouldn't have reacted to situations in my life when Manda left the way I did without the support of the people I've met. So the Super League will always have a big place in my heart. And, you know, never say never. There is a chance I'll be involved again one day, but you're right. The Super League is massive. It will continue to grow, and I will, if it's from afar, I will continue to be watching it. And listen, this isn't the end. Like I say, I'm going to be involved in the playoffs, and whether they decide to retract the offer or not, I'm presenting the final because I've said so.
Anyway, one thing I noticed, and I've got 6 goals from indirect free kicks there. So
but you're also 9 games without a win, Steve.
Oh well, that's 9 games. It can't be 9 games.
I'm sure it said 9 games without a win. Hang on.
No, it can't.
9 without a win, Steve. Fuck off.
All right. Anyway, it's happening against Rob with a team of reprobates next game. No, honestly, mate, it's been brilliant. Not only through COVID getting annoying, that through everything you've done for the league. It'd be nice if you still, even if you want streaming, you want to manager at that point, even did a little bit of a blog or something, you know, just like overseeing from your point of view.
Mate, what will happen is I'll take a few weeks away and then I'll get an idea and I'll say, okay, I'm doing this now. But yeah, I'm getting some pelters here from saying COVID were good. Well, you did say COVID were great. Yeah.
You know what I meant. In terms of the situation enabled us to be what we are at this present minute, and I think that situation created what it is now, as well as up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning playing stupid games online, and yeah, he had save as well, Dan. He had save.
I did get the save at one point. Yeah,
he played last game. Last game with me.
Listen, I've waffled far too long. Thank you, everyone, for your kind messages. This isn't about me. This is about the Super League. It's been a great night's entertainment, and it's 11:10. You're all going to want packs tonight as well, so I'm going to cut it there. But I do appreciate the kind comments, and long live Jackbox. Indeed, that's the perfect place to end, Duggan. Long live Jackbox. Oh, hang on. Tato wants something else. There's the home form.
Oh, on 12th there. That's nice.
There's the away form.
On bottom.
And yes, long live Jackbox. From myself and from Steve, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Good night.